What is up, guys? This is Dear Gaming. We're back with another video. So as you guys can see, we are on Marvel Infinity. This is the video that you guys did vote for. I think last week or the week before, a couple weeks ago, something like that. And we're basically going to be talking about how and why the game flopped and dropped and failed so bad. So before we get into all that, please make sure y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe, y'all. We are at 15,000 subscribers. Thank you guys again. As you can see, I didn't have an intro on this video. It's because I'm still working on a couple things, but as soon as I finish my intro and all of that, I'll start using it again. So yeah, I'm working on a new intro, new outro. I'm gonna be using my old outro till I finish a new one. But yeah, new intro, background music, all of that, and let's go ahead and get into today's video. So firstly, you guys know that this is completely unbiased. This is not just from me personally. I was getting the input from you guys, my Discord mainly, the community as a whole. I was joining the game and looking at the Discord server, talking to members to see how everybody felt, and everybody pretty much felt the same way about these specific things. I don't have any personal vendettas against Marvel Infinity, Byron, or the higher ups, any of that stuff. Everything in this video is strictly based on y'all's input, with mine too, but mainly y'all's, the community as a whole. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So as you guys know, Marvel Infinity was one of the most anticipated games of the Roblox Marvel era on Roblox, of course. It was in development for a pretty long time. So many of us were waiting on it, years to come. Marvel Infinity was actually the very first Marvel game on Roblox that I decided I wanted to do that wasn't based on my anime stuff. Let me turn the graphics down. Turn that down, volume. So yeah, so Marvel Infinity is one of the very first games I decided to get into, join the Discord and all that stuff, which was about 3-4 years ago. And yeah, so this is what we were waiting on, which, as you can see, I'll put a picture on the screen of how many players it has right now, but we all know how it turned out. So yeah, everybody was hyped about it, especially me and a couple other YouTubers, and I wasn't really that big at the time. I had like 1,000 or so, I think, at the most. I don't know, I don't remember. But yes, but we're gonna basically get into why it failed and why the players, you guys, are so upset. And I do want to say that a lot of these things would be as important. They wouldn't be as important if the game was released earlier, but since the game was in development for so long, everybody kind of does have the right to be upset or mad. So yeah, so it took a long time, between 2 to 4, actually, yeah, like 3 to 4 years for the game to be developed and released again. And y'all are justifiably upset and angry. So yeah, also, before we talk about the problems, we can definitely say that Marvel Infinity did give us a new experience for a short amount of time, and it was fun for that time. The difference, like, we got to play as Hela and a lot of other characters we never really got to play as. The different game maps, all of that. How do I fly again? See, that shows y'all how long it's been since the OF. There we go. But yeah, the aesthetic, all of that stuff is really, really nice. And definitely one of the things that we needed in a Marvel game that we got here for a little bit and all of that. But sadly, it was short-lived. So let's get into the dirty mess. First of all, first thing first is no mobile compatibility. I think that was definitely one of the biggest reasons. I did not mean to do that. I think that was definitely one of the biggest reasons Marvel Infinity fell off so fast, and why they didn't last long is because they didn't add mobile support yet. It's months later, we still don't have all the moves for some of these characters, all this and that. But like a large chunk of the Marvel players have phones, and they can't really afford to have access to PCs, laptops, and all of that. So that is kind of sad. And so, with that being said, the player count was dropped drastically because they didn't add mobile support for you guys, and they only basically did it for PC players, which is really bad. But yeah, if people could play from their phone, they'd be prone to play from different places, like in the car or on the go instead of just at home. So it was bad because it took them so damn long to release the game, and no mobile support. So how are you developing a game for this many years, but there's no mobile support? No, it ain't adding up. It's pretty bad. So yeah, that's one of them. Next up is the game stage. The game was released unfinished, and we didn't really get all of the promised game modes and things a lot of the players were looking forward to. We did get a few different maps and stuff, as y'all seen from what we can teleport to, but it would have been more interesting to have, other things and not just maps if they would have added all of that. So, see, look, this lag, I think that's one of, I'm gonna talk about that too. But yes, game stage is definitely the next one. Like we wanted the free for all, the war mode, all of that stuff, the Galactus battles, all of these things, they could have probably benefited the game in a lot of ways, especially with us players that stream, to add in things like that to the stream. And tournaments, all of that stuff, it would have been so much easier if we had a lot of different game modes. um Next is the game prices. Before the game released, we did get an idea of some game passes and everything. Byron did say that he wasn't like, certain other community people, and he complained, the community complained about how he turned the other way, and he did make everything pretty expensive. Um, I can definitely say that the prices were pushed up drastically, and it's one thing that I definitely didn't like, especially since there's people like me who's been a part of the MI community for years, and I did buy all of the game passes. I pre-bought them all before the game released, like a year or two beforehand. But I did have to rebuy every single game pass again after release. So just think about all of that and how much Robux there was on me. And then not only that, I did buy some passes for a lot of other people too, like some of you guys, my fans, so y'all could play and enjoy some things. But yeah, that was definitely bad. I really did not like having to rebuy everything again with my own Robux after I had already bought them. And yeah, so it was that, and then new passes coming out that they were pretty expensive too. Money that went up towards characters that really weren't worth it. So like, yeah, a lot of the ones that cost Robux, the majority of them weren't really worth it because they were just like, like a copy of another one with extra things changed and added on. So I think that was definitely another reason. Let's see, next, free assets, the free assets that were used. So the game had a heavy amount of free assets. Some people say that some were stolen, but that they were used that looked like they came from other games, and that's because one of the biggest problems is the asset usage. It wasn't as big of a problem at first, but everybody made it a big problem. And if the game develops, if the game was developed over time, like a short amount of time, then it probably would have been fine. But since it took so long for the game to release, we'd be expecting little to no free assets usage. So I definitely think that there was something that could have been worked on. And I'm lagging so bad right now trying to do all of this. But yeah, I definitely think that they should have used less free assets, or whatever the case was, since the game was in development for that amount of time. Yeah, so that's it for that. Next up is lack of updates and dedication. A lot of people feel as though Byron just wanted to get the game out and get the bag, which he did get the bag, and then just leave it at that. And it kind of does show with a lack of updates and even simple small fixes like lag, like what I'm talking about right now. Even things like that, after a while, they just stopped. Nothing came out, nothing new, and it kind of does show the lack of support for the game and all of that. it takes a while for things to be fixed, and it just doesn't, and it just wasn't really worth the wait for a lot of us. And I do feel as though he isn't as dedicated to the Marvel game as he once was, so that probably had a big part to play in the fall of Marvel Infinity. Let's see, but it's lagging so bad. I really hope this video is not lagging as bad. Oh yeah, let me try to do something. But also, you guys, I am using a different recorder, so let me know how it is. Mine is still broken, so I'm forced to use this recorder, which is pretty different. But if you see if it's lagging, I promise you it's not the recorder that's making it lag. It's the game itself, like you guys know. And I don't know how to turn on low graphics mode. I forgot. Settings. Settings. And I can't even. Okay, there we go. Low graphics. Let me see. See, it does that thing where it still lags when I move my mouse. So I'm just gonna have to walk around like this while making the video. But yeah, definitely the lack of updates and dedication. So that's like another big thing. Next up, well, lastly, which is one of the big things, is the bridge between Byron and his community. A lot of people feel as though Byron didn't have a bond with his community as a whole. He just simply didn't care about what, the community wanted or thought. They felt as though he didn't listen and only did what he wanted when he wanted to do it, and it didn't really pay off staff, you know, in any good way for the most part. Um, they didn't really get what they were worth, and I think that's the reason a lot of the different community members, especially staff, have stepped down and said a lot of different things before they left. So yeah, that was pretty much bad. The community is the biggest part of a successful game and everything, and we've had so many good people leave because of the lack of communication and trust. So that's pretty much it, y'all. This video is all over the place because I didn't really get all the details that I wanted to get from y'all completely, and I'm lagging, so I can't really do too much besides walk around like this. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what y'all think. Again, this is not a hate video or anything like that at all. It's just, informational and stuff like that, and basically the thoughts on why and how the game had died out. So let me know if I missed anything in the comments, and let me know what y'all want to see next. Hopefully I will have the new intro and outro, background music, all this stuff done pretty soon. So yeah, make sure y'all, again, like, comment, subscribe. I don't have a new goal yet for my channel, but also make sure y'all go follow my Instagram. I'm still doing the 15,000 giveaway on my channel pretty soon in a different video, and I'm also still giving away 2,000 Robux and some Marvel New Jersey Game Passes once my Instagram hits 1,000 followers. So do that, and thank you guys so much for coming to this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.